the competition committee writes up the rules proposals that they hear from teams, and then the competition committee then votes on all of them on what to forward to the membership, which means they think it's worthy. It's their stamp of approval. And these are the we found out what's coming. I have them right here. The competition committee itself is forwarding this one. They want to make the dynamic kick permanent. That's coming. And what it includes is the requirement for the receiving team players in the setup zone. It modifies the alignment requiring for them. The dead ball spot is no longer it's now the 35-yard line, not the 25. That'll make a difference.
That's good. I like that move.
And a lot of coaches were saying do that during training camp last year, and they're like, no, we're going to do it the way we did it, and then we'll revisit. There it is. It changes the alignment requirements for kicking team on an onside kick. We're hoping that means more of them will be successful. And you remember last year in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs couldn't do an onside kick in the third quarter because it's the fourth quarter only.
Yep.
And they were down by a ton, but it was on the wrong side of the fourth quarter. Now the kicking team can do it anytime in a game that they're trailing. Anytime. Makes sense.
Cool, but let's get a 4th and 15 play. Come on.
The problem for that is what happens was a defensive penalty. You've never given me a reasonable response to that.
I'm not on the competition committee, but figure it out.
Philadelphia says let's make the overtime period from the playoffs the same thing in the regular season, where if somebody scores a touchdown, you get a chance to respond. In order for that to happen, though, the 10-minute overtime becomes 15 minutes. I would say yes to that. They want to expand instant replay's ability to advise the on-field officials on specific objective aspects of a play and to address game administration issues when clear and obvious video evidence is present. That opens things up to a lot more interpretation. I'd vote yes on that.
Yeah, no-brainer.
Detroit says get rid of the automatic first down penalty on defensive holding and illegal contact.
I kind of like that.
I mean,
I don't know.
Stop committing those penalties more than anyone in the league.
And then here's the mother load, folks. It is the Tush Push ban. If you're telling me it's because you can't stop it, you don't get my vote. They won't ever say that in the room. I want to hear that conversation. I want to hear from coaches. I want to hear from everybody. Why? I want to hear from Green Bay. Why are you saying no to this? Because it's definitely not for what they say, pace of play and player safety. Come on now. I'm not looking at this saying someone can get hurt. And I'm not looking at this saying, you know what, this is ruining pace of play. What I'm saying is it's unstoppable and it's boring for me as a fan to see. And it's just like, why don't you, somebody's just going to get, just like Philadelphia, and do it on third down and then fourth down. If it becomes 3rd and 4, why don't they do it twice? Why are they throwing it? If it's 3rd and 3, do it twice.
I do buy the aesthetics argument.
I buy that too.
This is a TV show. You want it to be entertaining. This is not an entertaining play.
Here's my problem, though. Again, we just had Levante David on. If Levante David can't push Vita Vea to stop it, then there shouldn't be Saquon Barkley pushing Jalen Hurts to create
and
it.
Mark Schwer said that, and that's kind of the best argument we've heard.
Definitely at that moment, I was like, I never thought
of it that way. Yeah, never thought of it that way. Yeah.
So if you're saying one side of the ball can't do it for player safety, now that I understand. One dude like Levante David pushing Vita Vea at you, that's potentially dangerous. Yeah. So the opposite should ring true. And so that's why I would kind of vote to get rid of it. And I just think this won't pass. I think it won't pass. There's a bunch of other bylaws that they want to change that, I don't think people are interested in terms of roster limit and stuff like that and size. But there is something that I think is interesting. Detroit's bylaw amendment to say wild card teams should be seated higher than division champions if they've got a better regular season record. That is making it out of committee. They will put that in front of the membership. Unless, again, there's a lot of buttonholing that goes on at these meetings. And if they feel like it's dead on arrival, then Detroit will pull it. Because it's Detroit's proposal. Detroit will pull it because they don't want this thing voted down, which means it'll be tough to get people to say yes to it again if it's up for a vote. So they may pull it, but it's out there. And what else is there? There's a K-ball thing. Scouting credentials. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Those are the ones that rise. And there is one missing, man. Where's the fumble through the end zone thing? I know you don't like it. Don't fumble through the end zone.
I'm not the only one that apparently doesn't care about it.
I think there's other people like me, but it's just not out of the competition committee. And I tell you that when it happens in a championship game or Super Bowl, then you're going to hear from those people. I'm telling you, it's because it hasn't happened in front of the whole country, 50 million plus, 100 million
it's happened
plus.
In playoff games.
It has. It happened in Kansas City with Cleveland playing Kansas City. I think that was a divisional game. That was Baker Mayfield's last playoff game as a Cleveland Brown.
It's not a big a deal as you think it is.
I disagree. Let it happen when there's a whole bunch of people watching football games for the first time saying, what is that? What does that mean? Wait a minute. You're telling me this team that just gave up all those yards is bailed out. And your answer of like, it's the most hallowed ground. That's why they call it a touchdown. That's why they give you 6 points for getting the ball in there. There should be a penalty for the team that puts it in there the wrong way.
Every rule favors the offense. Don't fumble.
No. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.